Henry and Kate are supposed to get married, but an accident separates them forever. Later, Henry tries to move on, but Kate has no intention of letting him go. Everyone is busy preparing for a wedding, and the bride-to-be, Kate, is hands-on with every detail on her special day. She goes on instructing everybody how to put things into order according to her liking. Eventually, Kate's fiancé, Henry, approaches and reminds Kate to take things lightly, but she remains stubborn as she runs away to talk to the ice sculptor who is delivering an ice-sculpted angel. But after seeing that the statue doesn't have wings, Kate argues with the man that what he brought is not an angel. When Chloe, Henry's sister, walks to them, Kate asks for her opinion on whether angels have wings, to which Chloe responds sometimes. Kate emphasizes that angels always have wings, which distinguishes them from humans. The argument about whether angels have wings or not goes on until Kate dismisses the sculptor and sternly orders him to bring her another ice statue of an angel with wings by any means. After leaving the man behind, Kate talks to one of the waitresses again, but when she sees the ice sculptor driving toward her gardenias, Kate panics and chases after the guy's truck and yells at him to stop. But the man, a bit drunk and mad from his encounter with Kate, fails to comprehend what Kate is shouting. Seconds later, the truck finally stops, and Kate successfully saves her gardenias. Unfortunately, nobody anticipates the ice statue falling over Kate and knocking her down. After opening her eyes, Kate finds herself in a white and spacious room, with a woman in a white dress who tries to tell her something. But with Kate constantly interrupting the woman and even giving her an attitude, the woman unceremoniously tells Kate that she is already dead. While Kate tries to understand what's happening, the woman attempts to tell her an important information. However, Kate refuses to listen, and when the woman tells her that she is an angel, Kate only mocks her for not having wings. As the angel loses patience, she begins to disappear, prompting Kate to beg her to stay and tell her about the important information she is supposed to know. To no avail, the angel vanishes, leaving Kate alone until she begins to fade away too. Meanwhile, Ashley, a psychic who also runs a catering company, is in the middle of giving a client a reading when the smoke alarm turns on. Ashley rushes to her kitchen, where she sees her assistant and gay best friend, Dan, attempting to deal with the smoke and burning food. Frustrated at Dan, Ashley tries to clean up his mess. Then, Dan reminds Ashley of her client, so she hurriedly returns to her living room, only to find her client leaving. The doorbell rings a few moments later, and when Ashley opens the door, she finds Chloe and Henry. As soon as they get inside her apartment, Chloe tells Ashley about her brother's fiancé, who died a year ago. She also wants Ashley to help Henry get in touch with Kate so that he may finally move on and begin a new life. As the two get down to business, Ashley learns that Henry is not a believer in psychic readings and is a veterinarian. For transparency, Ashley tells Henry that her communication with the deceased isn't always successful, but she asks him to give it a try. After Henry gives his consent, he holds Ashley's hands, and they begin contacting Kate. When their initial attempt to get in touch with Kate fails, they decide to try again. The two work on concentrating even more, but with their eyes shut, they are unable to witness the fire from the candles growing until they die out. Dan's noises from the kitchen also distract them, so Henry just chooses to leave. Then, after Chloe learns from Henry that his session with Ashley did not go well, she becomes more concerned about her brother growing old alone. Henry even ignores the dates that Chloe arranges for him, so Chloe decides to meet with Ashley again and pleads with her to pretend that she can communicate with Kate by using the dead woman's diary. Despite Ashley's initial protests about scamming people, she eventually carries on with their lying scheme and blurts out visions when she runs into Henry in the grocery store one day. Ashley brings up how Kate and Henry first met, and Henry can only agree to her accurate vision. Ashley, having captured Henry's attention and curiosity, invites him to go somewhere else to talk, and they end up in a restaurant. After discussing pets, Henry asks Ashley if she was hearing someone in the grocery store, prompting Ashley to lie that it was Kate. Ashley asks Henry if he wants to try her psychic reading again, and they hold hands to proceed. Then, Ashley tells Henry that the restaurant they're in reminds her of something, mentioning New York and how Henry went there with Kate for Christmas. But just when Ashley is about to say more, a loud ringtone interrupts them, causing them to lose focus. Despite Henry's request for Ashley to tell him more, she refuses and suggests that they try it again another time. At home, Ashley talks non-stop about her encounter with Henry. Dan confronts Ashley about her real motive in helping Henry, thinking she likes the veterinarian. But Ashley only denies it and even meets with Henry in her apartment again, supposedly for another psychic reading and communication with Kate. After Ashley receives Henry's gift, a book, as compensation for her service, they sit at the table. But before they can start the reading, Henry tells Ashley that he's been researching the possibility of letting her come up with her somehow accurate readings by picking up on his body language. So to make the reading more authentic, Henry plans to not show too much emotion, which makes Ashley laugh because of how weird he looks. Ashley comes up with a better solution, saying they should turn their chairs back to back. Then, she further suggests doing it in separate rooms until Henry realizes that Ashley is just messing with him. Their supposed psychic reading ends up elsewhere when Henry decides to bring Ashley to a place that Kate once showed him. But as the two start to get comfortable with each other, the ghost of an unhappy Kate appears behind the car and mumbles something inappropriate that Ashley hears. After realizing it is not from Henry, Ashley just keeps it to herself, wondering where it came from. Meanwhile, Kate's ghost rants to herself as she walks angrily down the street, passing through people. Moments later, she passes by the ice sculptor who has somehow caused her death. While talking to the man, she learns he has also died because of drunk driving, and he is there to accomplish the last mission the angel told him to do. Kate, not knowing what her mission is, assumes that she has to look after Henry. So the next day, she goes to Ashley's apartment and meets her. Surprisingly, Ashley is able to see Kate, who says she got her number from yoga class and claims to be upset over the death of her friend. To attend to Kate's business, Ashley lets her inside. To hide her agenda, Kate introduces herself as Kayleen, and just as Ashley is about to do her reading, Kate starts carrying out her plan by pretending to get possessed by someone. She starts saying how Ashley has been mocking her psychic ability to speak falsely for the dead and that she has to stop immediately or suffer a terrible consequence. When Ashley tells Kate she must be joking, the latter uses her ghostly abilities and gets another deep voice to repeat her words. She even levitates while threatening Ashley of the things she could lose if she still continues to engage with Henry. After Kate's flawless performance, Ashley asks her to go, and Kate exits the place with a smile, believing that she has now convinced Ashley to leave Henry alone. Henry, on the other hand, tells Chloe that she ran into Ashley, saying the psychic mentions some specific stuff about him and Kate. He also adds that he's meeting with Ashley again. Afterward, Henry goes to Ashley's apartment, where he sees Dan, who has been knocking on the door and trying to make his friend come out. Dan finally meets Henry, and the man tells him he is looking for Ashley since she did not show up at the restaurant where they were supposed to meet. With Ashley not responding to Dan, Henry tries his luck, but Ashley only lies, saying she's sick and will call him if she gets better. Days pass, and a terrified Ashley still hasn't called Henry. Meanwhile, Henry keeps leaving her random messages, and he even sends her a sandwich. Eventually, the man realizes that Ashley has been avoiding him, so he bids her farewell through a voice message. With the drama between the two, Chloe visits Ashley, confronting her on why she is avoiding Henry. Struggling to tell Chloe the reason, Ashley only tells her that she no longer wants to lie and apologizes, but Chloe remains persistent, even bringing pictures of Kate and some letters from her in case Ashley needs more things to say to Henry. Upon seeing Kate's photo, Ashley rushes frustratedly to her apartment and prompts Kate to reveal herself. Kate finally shows up, and instead of getting terrified, Ashley gets even more excited to see and talk to a ghost. The two ladies soon talk about Henry, and Kate proceeds to discourage Ashley from being with a man. However, Ashley explains herself and admits she's a bit attracted to Henry, even citing how he's been kind to her. To make Ashley understand the situation, Kate tells her that it is her mission to protect Henry and requires the psychic to stay away from him. But Ashley begins to challenge Kate by doing the opposite. The next day, Ashley visits Henry in his clinic to apologize for ghosting him and invites him for dinner. With Ashley's stubbornness, Kate proceeds to make her life a little miserable by pulling childish pranks on her. Kate tricks Ashley into coming out of the gym shower with only a towel covering her body after hearing an emergency announcement. Running with her eyes closed, Ashley advises everyone in the gym to leave the building until she sees Kate, making her realize what's happening. Later, while on a date with Henry, Ashley accidentally spills hot dog sauce on her dress, prompting her to change into a big yellow shirt with a California print. As Henry and Ashley walk around, they continue to tease each other until they stop by the railings. When Henry mentions Kate's name, Ashley can't stop herself from asking whether they are out to deal with Kate's business or they are out to date. Henry also confesses to being confused about the same thing, but even without verbal affirmation, their undeniable chemistry pushes Ashley to lean in and kiss Henry. After a fun night, Henry walks Ashley back to her apartment and promises to call her before she walks inside. But seconds after Ashley gets in, she hears a knock on the door. Thinking it is Henry, she tries to fix her hair a little before opening the door. Unfortunately, Ashley opens the door to Kate, who instantly confronts her about seeing Henry. As the two argue by the doorway, Ashley Ashley's neighbor arrives and sees Ashley seemingly talking to herself about her embarrassing experience in the gym. The elderly lady is taken aback but eventually leaves while her dog Bingo sniffs Kate. Soon, the two ladies get excited upon realizing that animals may be able to see Kate's ghost. The next day, Ashley visits Father Marks, a priest she knows, and asks him to exorcise Kate's ghost. So the two go to Ashley's apartment, and as Father Marks begins to pray to drive the spirit away, Kate's ghost appears, mocking Ashley for bringing the priest. But then, Kate's body begins to disintegrate, and despite her asking for Ashley's forgiveness, she finally vanishes as Father Marks finishes the prayer. Ashley is utterly happy to finally get rid of Kate, but as soon as the priest leaves, she sees Kate's ghost again and learns she faked her disintegration. Kate starts to pester her more, following her everywhere, disturbing her sleep, and bothering her while she cooks the next day. Eventually, Ashley decides to concede and promises not to see Henry again, which also makes Kate promise to stop her childish acts. Before Kate leaves, Ashley asks if there's anything she wants to say to Henry. So later that day, Kate goes with Ashley as she meets with Henry. Ashley starts by sincerely telling the man that she has spoken with Kate, but moments later, she lies again and tells Henry that Kate wants him to move on and be with her. Unfortunately, this angers Kate. In retaliation, Kate messes with Ashley while she works with Dan at a wedding reception, making her put extra liquor on her cherry's jubilee. Dan also keeps telling Ashley to end her relationship with Henry as they work. Then, when Ashley serves her cherry's jubilee in front of the newlyweds and their guests, she almost gets consumed by a huge fire because of the wrong liquor measurement. Despite getting herself into trouble, Ashley stands up to Kate, telling her that she cannot stop her from going out with Henry and informing her of their upcoming date that weekend. True enough, Henry and Ashley spend their weekend together in an inn, but Kate is determined to ruin their moment and shows herself to the psychic as she makes out with Henry. Later on, a happy Henry meets with Chloe and tells her he's dating Ashley, but Chloe is not pleased about it, prompting her to visit Ashley and confront her for taking advantage of her brother's vulnerability. She proceeds to take Kate's diary back, and Henry, who also happens to come to Ashley's place, finds out about it. Realizing that Ashley has been lying to him, Henry quickly leaves, followed by Chloe. After that, Ashley cries in Dan's arms, talking about feeling horrible for lying to Henry. So Dan comforts Ashley but suddenly kisses her. Surprised, Ashley confronts Dan, only to learn that her gay best friend has been pretending all along and that he's been in love with her since he met her. As it turns out, Dan went into business with Ashley to be close to her. Dan's confession also does nothing good for their friendship, and the guy silently leaves Ashley's apartment. Days later, Henry talks to Ashley about some of the things she said about Kate that are not in the diary. Ashley finally tells Henry the truth that it started out as a lie to help him move on, but Kate's ghost appeared to try to scare her away from him. She also confesses her genuine feelings for Henry, but the man only leaves her. Afterward, the two try to go on with their lives and start dating other people, but it just won't work. One day, Dan sees Ashley and apologizes to her. Realizing how Dan has been kind to her, Ashley forgives him and decides to give him a chance to prove how much he loves her. Meanwhile, Kate is watching over Henry in the supermarket when the ice sculptor appears to help her realize that her mission is to make Henry happy and let him be with Ashley. As the man is about to leave, Kate learns that his mission is to get her to do the right thing. Now that he is finally done, the man bids Kate farewell before vanishing. So Kate visits Ashley to convince her to date Henry again, but thinking that Kate is bluffing, Ashley refuses and tells her that she is dating someone else and they're going to Las Vegas. With Kate's failed attempt on Ashley, she goes to Henry to make him stop Ashley from leaving. After learning that Henry's parrot can communicate her words to him, she uses this to instruct Henry to go after Ashley at the airport. Bringing the parrot, Henry takes a taxi and heads to the airport, where he is forced to buy a plane ticket as the guard won't let him through without it. When Henry and Kate catch up with Ashley and Dan, Kate finally lets go of Henry and wishes him to be happy with Ashley. With Kate's approval, Henry now asks Ashley if she wants to be with him. And because Ashley doesn't want to piss Kate off again, she agrees and walks up to Henry so they can share a kiss. Eventually, Henry and Ashley decide to get married. Meanwhile, Chloe and Dan seem to be having a special connection. As Ashley walks down the aisle, she stops midway to talk to Kate and thank her for giving them her blessing, promising to make Henry happy. Finally done with her mission, Kate walks out of the church smiling, and she gets transported back to purgatory with the angel. After congratulating her, the angel then asks to have the orb of true light that Kate has collected from her loved ones so she can move on. Not knowing what the angel is talking about, Kate starts throwing an attitude. Then the angel disappears again, leaving an angry Kate behind.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.